If you've just started out posting content, here's the advice that I wish someone told me before I posted my first ever video. And if you don't know me or you've never seen my content, my name is Claire. I'm actually a beauty influencer on TikTok and Instagram. And in terms of my credibility, giving you influencer tips, I have done it myself. I have over 100,000 followers on Instagram, 160,000 followers on TikTok, and I also hold a communications PR degree and worked in marketing before I became a full-time influencer. And the reason why I'm holding my phone today while we get ready and do my makeup, because I'm a beauty influencer, we need to tie everything together because I asked my community on Instagram what questions they had about being a creator. So it's a little Q&A, little introduction, but if you want more videos like this, please let me know. I hate gatekeeping, but what I hate more is misinformation about how to become a content creator and just people giving fake advice. And then they try and build credibility with how many followers or views that they're getting, but they're only getting followers and views because they're talking about how to become a creator. I've personally done it in my own niche that I can give you real tangible advice of how I got here. Doesn't mean I'm going to know it all, but anything I do know, I am willing to share. So the first question is, what was your first step in your creator journey? And I think this is a very important question to start on because this didn't just happen overnight for me. And to be honest, all your favorite creators, it didn't happen overnight for them, most likely. Of course, we all wish to be that one creator that just blows up overnight, gets a million brand deals, but that's not reality. And also that doesn't always have the most long-term success. So what a lot of people are surprised about is that I've actually been creating content for probably 10 plus years. I actually started on YouTube, especially in that peak beauty guru YouTube era. I think I had another channel before this, but even 8 years ago, I was posting consistent beauty content. And even then, I still don't blend my makeup properly or wipe the tiramisu that I just ate from my mouth. But I guess that just proves my biggest motto, consistency over perfection. So that was my first step in the creator journey. Kind of always done social media. I had a successful Facebook page for like Harry Potter back in the day. And also I did Tumblr. I dabbled in Instagram, but my big break, if you want to call it that, even though like I said, I did not get successful overnight, was TikTok in 2020. And I'm going to be honest, my success was not random. I worked bloody hard and strategically. I saw TikTok in 2020 as a massive opportunity, not only for my beauty guru dreams, but to actually get a job in marketing. I really saw an opportunity to learn everything I could about TikTok so I could put that on my resume. And if you were listening at the start, obviously it worked because I did get my job in marketing. Even more so, it led me to right now. The next question is, where's the best starting point as a new blogger / content creator? That's really up to you to decide, but I definitely think you need to be on both Instagram and TikTok. And someone else asked tips on getting started. As cliche as it is, and I'm sure a million people have told you this, you just need to get started. I would say give you a couple days to sit down with a pen and paper, write what you're passionate about and what you're going to talk about. Of course, you can go online and get a little bit of inspiration, but you really don't want to psych yourself out. The longer you think about it, the longer you're going to put it off. If you want to do this, you need to set yourself a goal of doing a video in 1 week from seeing this video. And another question is, what is your advice for building the confidence to be on camera more? And there is no doubt that the confidence comes with doing it more and more. Think of anything you've done in your life. You are not perfect on day one. Think about something you're good at. Example, cooking. You probably didn't want to bake a cake for someone that you really love on the first day you learned how to cook. This is exactly like that. It is a skill that you need to practice and learn. And then the next question, which is super relevant and goes into that, how to get over feeling silly if you've just begun posting content on your personal profile. And don't get me wrong, I've sort of been there in the sense of when I was posting YouTube videos, I would actually share it to my Facebook friends. But honestly, I always think if you want something badly enough, you will embarrass yourself for it. And you have to think to yourself, what if this does work out? Whatever you want to get out of this experience, say if you want it as a job, what if that does work out? Everyone's going to be so happy for you. And the people that aren't, or if people are making fun of you even now, they can get out of your life. Or they can be a normal person and just keep on scrolling and ignore it. I think now more than ever, it is actually quite normal for everyone to be creating content. And as everyone says online, the price of success is kind of cringe. It's being a little bit cringe and it's putting yourself out there. But if I didn't put myself out there, then I wouldn't have the success I have today. And that can happen for you as well. Onto some practical advice, how to set up simple camera, video, and lighting to start. It's all a bit overwhelming. And then literally someone asked the exact same question, what camera and lighting setup to invest in when starting? I do not recommend you invest really at all into your setup. I know this might surprise people, but I'm actually a little bit frugal. I don't really love spending money, and worse, I don't like wasting money. And the best part about this rise of TikTok and Instagram is that you actually don't need a professional setup. This YouTube video is actually filmed on my iPhone, and all my content is filmed on my iPhone. What I would say is actually more important than the device that you're filming on is actually lighting. Of course, you can use natural lighting. Personally, I don't, because my house just doesn't really allow for it. Even though I am in front of a window, I more rely on artificial lighting. And the lighting I do use is bloody expensive. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I did invest into more expensive lighting because I do beauty content. So beauty content is really important to have the best lighting possible. And that is my cat. This is my cat, Curie. I'll insert a photo of my light here. It's from the Makeup Light store. It was bloody expensive to get it to Australia, but honestly, as you can see, the lighting is absolutely amazing. But honestly, you could probably get something similar on Amazon. I found one by a brand called Newer, who I really like. I've actually linked it in my Amazon storefront. So everything I use for lighting is down below. And that same brand does one of my favorite lights, and I think the best thing for a beginner to invest in. It's the Newer mobile light. This is the one that Alex Earl went absolutely viral for. You just clip it on top of your phone, and I actually use this as well because it just further brightens you up. I'm not using it for this YouTube video, but I do it for all my other content. But I'll turn it on so you can kind of see. I know it's kind of a subtle difference because my other light is so bright, but it does really help. But I will actually turn off my big light to show you. If I had no lighting, this is what the video would look like. And then let's turn on the little light. As you can see, it's not nearly as good as my expensive, nearly $1,000 light, but it does make a massive difference. Also, considering it's nearly 6 p.m., it's probably not the brightest part of the day. And then let's turn on my big light. Yeah. You can tell why I invested into this. Like I said, it's not 100% necessary. I would just use a good quality phone and this little light to start off with. Next question is, do you have any filming and editing tips? Planning to start a baking account? Well, can you please send me a cake, because I would absolutely love that. My filming tip would be batch your content. And by that, I mean plan your content. So when you sit in front of the camera, you're not just filming one video, but you have 5 videos or more that you could do at once. So for example, for me, this is actually me batching content. I did my eye makeup off camera, but of course I could have done a tutorial on my eyes. I then planned videos that I could do before this video so I could batch the content. So for me, that was like a skin prep video, how to find your undertone. So 2 separate videos before I've even started this video. I'm going to do this video, which I'm doing my base makeup. And then after this video, all my makeup is done so I can do some talking videos. So when you come up with an idea, try and write down the list of content that you want to film that day and try and plan it in order that you can batch it and you can film multiple videos in one sitting. That's how creators like me are posting multiple times in one day. Best believe if we're only filming 1 or 2 videos at a time, we would run out of content real quick. In terms of editing, I personally use CapCut. I do pay for Pro simply because it is my job, but also I think it is quite a small investment. I think it's around $100 a year. Also, if it is some of your income, you can use it as a tax deduction. And why I use that is because I like the caption tool, but there's also one tool that I absolutely love that I'll insert here. It's called Transcript. This has been honestly my lifesaver because I do quite long chatting videos. You put your whole video in there, click transcript, and it literally transcripts everything you've said in the video. So it puts it into text. And then from there, there's a button that you click that identifies when you've been pausing. So for me, say if I'm doing a makeup tutorial, I would be talking, some of the time, but there is sometimes I don't need to include the footage because I'm not talking. And this button gets rid of all those pauses. So it can turn like a 30-minute video into like a 5-minute video. So that's so much time saved. I don't have to watch a 30-minute video. I only have to watch 5 minutes. That is my biggest editing tip. And trust me, editing is still so hard, but it does save a lot of time and energy. That is my biggest editing tip. And like I said, has been a massive lifesaver this year. My friend Steph actually sent this in, how to figure out my niche and what type of content direction to go in when planning posts. Your niche has to be something that you can confidently talk about for the rest of your life. Mine was pretty easy because I'm a qualified makeup artist. I used to work at Mecca. Makeup and beauty is a big part of my life, so I know I can talk about it, and I know I can talk about it confidently. I also know that I have something to teach other people, because the biggest thing that I've ever learned about content creation is that your content either needs to be educational or entertaining. For me, education is a huge, big part of my content. Even when I try different kinds of content like this, it is educational. I also think my tip to people in this situation is the fact that you actually don't really need to niche down, especially not at the start. Maybe choose a few topics that you absolutely love and see what performs well. Post as much content as you can at the start, and then a few months in, see what you like talking about and also see what your audience likes to listen to you talking about. And then from there, recreate your most viral videos or videos that got really good engagement or some kind of response that you enjoy talking about as well. And don't be afraid to repeat yourself. If something has gone well, how can you spin it in a different way to do it again? And that kind of relates to this question: how do you keep posts interesting? You have to remember your content is seen by such a different group of people every time you post. The way that these algorithms work, your followers are only seeing a very small amount of your content. So it's okay to repeat yourself or just take a small spin of something that you have done in the past. There has been so many times, especially this year, that I felt like I was repeating myself, but honestly, people love that. Just because something's not interesting to you doesn't mean it's not going to be interesting to someone else. And also just think of different formats, how to convey that same idea. So maybe one of them is more of a vlog with a voiceover. Another one could be talking to camera. Another one could be a carousel post. I would say that's the best way to keep things interesting. Now we're getting on to views and engagement. Can't seem to get over 200 views, especially on Instagram. I see this talked about so much, this 200 view jail. I would be doing a personal audit on my content if that was me. Does my content look good? Is the lighting good? Does it look quite professional? Is there a lot of clutter everywhere? What am I giving to my followers? It's not always about you. Yes, you should enjoy the content that you're creating, but it's about them. They want to know what they can get from you. Next. Hooks are so important. A hook is pretty much the first sentence that you say in your videos to grab the attention or to hook your audience in. And yes, I did use one at the start of the video. If you've just started out posting content, here's the advice that I wish someone told me before I posted my first ever video. And I'm going to be honest because you need honesty. You need to be harsh on yourself. Content is very saturated at the moment. How can you stand out? And I also think if you are only getting 200 views, you need to be pushing more content out and eventually something will break through. The whole point is to have lots of pieces of different content that you can analyze so you can see what is performing well and what isn't. So then when you get that video over 200 views, you can be like, okay, I'm going to continue doing that. I know it seems super discouraging, but trust me, if you do these things, like I said, you will break out of that 200 view jail. And then we get on to the other mental side of this. How do you keep yourself from focusing too much on numbers, views, likes, and followers? This is actually probably surprising to a lot of people to talk about, but a few months ago, I had a massive crash out about views, followers, etc. I was on a holiday with my family, and obviously that meant not posting as much as I normally would, and I just did not feel good about work. And I honestly think that that is the hardest part about being a content creator. Doing content isn't necessarily hard. Is it time consuming? Yes, but the hard part is the mental. It is the fact that you can compare yourself to people and your peers online so easily. So I don't really have the answer, but I've definitely shifted my mindset quite a bit since that crash out. I have personally found talking about it makes my life so much better and my mind so much clearer. And this is talking about it both with people in the industry, but also people outside of the industry. I think it's really, really important to have people on both sides, because the reality is a lot of people outside of this world maybe won't understand it, but can give a different perspective. And then the people inside can relate and support you through it as well. I think my biggest advice is the fact that you just have to keep on going. And even though these things do hurt, it's hard. It's like if you went to any other job and you weren't meeting your KPIs or you didn't feel successful, obviously it's going to hurt. This is the same. It's still a job. But in that case, if your friend came to you saying that, you would be like, why don't you get a hobby outside of work? Why don't we go for a nice weekend away or a walk or get a matcha? Also have to take the pressure off yourself that every video is going to be amazing and go viral. And also you don't have to go viral and have millions of views and likes for this to be a career or for it to be successful. I think I'm proof of that. Don't get me wrong. I do have a decent sized following, but I don't have millions of followers, and the opportunities I've gotten are priceless. I just think you have to keep on posting, keep on moving forward, but also allow yourself to have some breaks and focus on your mental health outside of social media. Someone asked, are hashtags irrelevant? And if they should post the same content on TikTok and Instagram? I'm a firm believer that TikTok and Instagram are not the same platform and different things work on each platform. However, you do not know how well a video is going to be received till you post it. So as much as I think TikTok content is better suited to more an authentic FaceTime content, almost like how we are talking now, doing story times, a bit more casual, whereas Instagram is a little bit more curated, I think you should be posting the same content on both to give yourself the double chance of it being successful. Because there's been multiple times that I post a video that I'm like, oh, this will go better on Instagram. It gets like 1,000 views, for example, and then on TikTok it's gotten 100,000 views. You do not know till you post it. As for hashtags, I think it's been said that on Instagram it doesn't really help. But on TikTok, because it has become a search engine, I think hashtags do help with keywords. So please stop hashtagging For You page or anything like that. Use keywords in your hashtags that are going to help you be discovered. For example, a lot of the hashtags that I use are like beginner makeup, fair skin makeup, or it's very specific, like how to apply foundation, keywords that I think will help people find my content. This is such a popular question. Reaching out to brands, do we keep trying or wait for them to come to us? If you're continuously reaching out and you're not getting any success, you need to audit yourself. You really need to be honest with yourself. What are you bringing to this brand? Why would the brand send you product? What are they getting out of it? And I'm going to be honest, if you have started your platform or your channel just to get free stuff or get paid, honestly, most of the time, I don't think this is for you. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a goal to get paid. Obviously, that's why we are doing this video. But I think it's becoming very clear online that people are starting this just to get paid or free stuff. And honestly, most of the time it comes through. And especially if you're in Australia like I am, 99% of the content I am not getting paid for. We do not get paid on TikTok or Instagram. And at this present moment, I'm not even getting paid for this YouTube video. You only can get paid through sponsorships. It is a lot of time and effort. So my advice to you, like I said, is you need to audit yourself and you need to see what you can bring to these brands, and also just work harder on your craft and maybe realign your goals. Even when I started TikTok, I never thought I was going to get paid for this. I was just happy to post my content and use it as a way to get a marketing job. Like I said, I've always wanted to be a beauty content creator. Obviously, that's a dream in the back of my head. But did I think it was possible? No. And also, it took a year and a half of me posting 3 times a day on TikTok when I had a job to get paid $200 for my first brand deal. I think there's lots of unrealistic expectations that within a month that you're getting PR and getting paid. That is just not the case, and you need to be in it for the long run. I'm not saying stop trying, just be more realistic, and like I said, audit yourself. The next question is knowing if an offer from a brand is worth it, true, and how to tell the duds. There is so many fake emails that I get all the time like this. First tell is the email. I always check to see if the actual email address looks a bit weird. Honestly, if it's too good to be true, sometimes it is. I check the person writing the email, checking them on LinkedIn, making sure that the companies line up. And also, it doesn't hurt to double check with the company directly. Determining if it's worth it is 100% up to you. You just need to make sure you know what you're signing up for. Alicia just had a friend that did a TikTok story time about how she wanted to be a content creator so badly that she did a post for this brand, and she accidentally, without her knowledge, gave them, I'm pretty sure for the rest of her life, usage rights. So now they're using her face in New York to advertise this like UTI medication. And she did it for like $80 or something, which is absolutely insane. And now she's actually a pretty big creator. What if you're the next Kim Kardashian and you just gave your rights away and then you become super famous and then this random brand uses your face and your likeness to advertise them like 10 years down the track? I know it seems unlikely, but you have to protect yourself. That is the biggest thing. And also, you need to know what you're getting out of it. If you just want the free product, then take the deal. And in terms of payment, if you're happy to do the video and just get some practice, then do it. But personally, I think you should be taking into consideration not even how long the video takes to film, but the editing and also your platform that you're posting on. Bare minimum, you should be charging your normal hourly rate at your normal job. And then the final question is best way to get brands to reach out to you even when you have an established following. Post content that they would pay for. And that means you're posting a lot, you're posting good quality content, and you're tagging the brand. If you want to work with a brand, then use the product for free and show that you are a genuine customer. Like I said, I was posting 3 times a day for a year and a half. I was using the brands that I eventually worked with. And also that means that the opportunities aligned when they came. If you've been doing that for a while and it's still not working, definitely reach out to PR companies or the company directly and show them examples of your previous content using their product. 9 times out of 10, they would be happy to send you some product or even talk about a sponsored deal in the future. If you are getting real results and real engagement and your videos are good, it is going to work out for you. Sometimes you do just need to introduce yourself in a nice, friendly way and just be like, hey, I'm Claire. I'm a beauty content creator. This is what I do. These are the videos I've done using your product. I absolutely love XYZ. I would love to be considered for any PR opportunities or any sponsored content that you have in the future. Sometimes they'll reply, sometimes they won't. But do that and I'm sure it will help. Please let me know if this video was helpful. This is the first time I've answered any questions like this, but I am super passionate about helping you all. If you want any other videos like this, please let me know what topics you want me to cover, any specific questions. Let's do a little Q&A down below in the comments as well. Make sure you're subscribed and I'll see you in the next one.